This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Perk up those ears, gals. The time has come. It's snippet time. Let's go. Let's do this. Welcome back to the Longtime Snippet Lovers. And if you're new here, what can I say? All I can say is welcome home. This is the place to be if you're a 40-plus woman who's struggling with alcohol. Gals, it's a big day today. I'm excited because we are going to organize our next book study. For those of you who've been around a while, you know that periodically here in Snippet Land, we look at some of the best personal development books ever written. We apply them to our journey, and we get results. You may also recall that I spent 20 years as an English professor, so I bring the skills I learned there over here to Snippet Land, and everybody benefits. Well, guess what? The time has come to turn to Becca's bookshelf and go from pages to practice. What are we going to do next? Are you excited? Well, I am. Gals, we are going back. We're going back this time. You think we went back last time? Well, we're going back even farther. You will recall that in the past, we did James Allen's 1903 booklet called As a Man Thinketh. We also looked not that long ago at Florence Scovel Shinn's great little 1920s number called The Game of Life and How to Play It. Today, and our next book, here we go, you ready? Is the 1897 book, I know, right? 1897 New Thought book written by Ralph Waldo Trine called, that's a mouthful, In Tune with the Infinite. In Tune with the Infinite. Gals, starting next Monday, the 3rd day of August, 2026, we are going to begin exploring Ralph Waldo Trine's beautiful 1897 book, In Tune with the Infinite. Gals, let's talk for a minute about this book, Florence Scovel Shinn's book, James Allen's book, and other books of this era. So I'm talking the late 19th and first 1/3 or so of the early 20th century. That era is ripe with personal development knowledge. It is known as the New Thought movement. These were leaders, these writers, these thinkers, these amazing people were leaders in what was known as the New Thought movement. What they wrote became the foundation of everything that would come afterwards. So, we look at things like The Secret. Do you remember The Secret? I actually personally never read it or saw the movie, but we all heard about it. And other books that are coming out now, all of the teachings on thoughts. We talk a lot about thoughts here in Snippet Land and mindset, and the fact that our journey is going to depend a great deal on the thoughts that we think and how we interpret those thoughts and how we feel. Feelings, thoughts, emotions, mindset, our consciousness is really what we're talking about. All of these types of teachings and the books that have been published in the last 20, 30, 40 years are founded on these thinkers from the New Thought movement from 100, 120 years ago. And our next exploration is Ralph Waldo Trine. I'm really excited, gals. I read this book about 3 weeks ago for the first time. I hadn't read it before, and I was covered in goosebumps the whole time because I couldn't wait to talk to you about it. I've highlighted the key points that are going to take our journey and make it so much clearer and help us take the ideas from the page and put them into practice. So how do you participate in a book study in Snippet Land? There's a couple of ways to do this. The simplest, just show up. It's that simple. You don't have to buy the book. You don't have to even know what book it is if you don't want to know. Just catch your snippets. Come next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. and get your snippets, and that's what we'll be talking about. If you want to go a little deeper, you could spend the next week, grab this book or the audio book, and go ahead and listen to it. Or deeper yet, you could get the book, make some notes of your own, decide what you think about it, and then see how my thoughts compare with yours. So this is very simple. We use the word study here lightly. What I'm really talking about when we look at books, what we're really doing is I'm going in and I pull out parts of the book that I think are important to us. So we do not sit here and read page by page, chapter by chapter, the whole book. In fact, this is quite a meaty book and we'll end up skipping parts of it. But I have key elements of this book that I'm ready with notes that I can't wait to share with you. Because knowing that over 125 years ago, the ideas that we're teaching here in Snippet Land and practicing here in Snippet Land were already being articulated by great thinkers. It is so inspiring, and I can't wait to share with you Ralph Waldo Trine's book, In Tune with the Infinite, starting next Monday, the 3rd of August, here in Snippet Land.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
All right, gals. Today is Monday, and this week in Snippet Land, I've got 3 completely different topics to share with you. They're not linked together, and each one has its own unique approach to this journey. Because here in Snippet Land, we do things differently. The journey for us, for 40 plus women who are professional, educated, some of us are retired, we are women who know how to show up in life. And just because we either drink more than we want to or drink when we said we weren't going to, just because we have a problem with alcohol does not mean that we haven't built amazing lives. And that added to our age, the fact that we're over 40, over 50, over 60, over 70, added together, and what we get is we need a different journey. We need a different pathway to sobriety. I know for me personally, I tried everything I could find out there and nothing resonated because nothing was aimed at my particular situation. I'm a mature woman. All of the ways in which I've just described us, this is for us and us alone. And it is always created with you in mind and the fact that you have a very specific type of life that you've lived. You're a wise woman. There's very little I need to teach you. I'm here to help you practice. That's why we talk a lot here about surface dwelling. This is not about learning new stuff. It's about reminding you of things you've already heard of. I know you know stuff, right? Are you right? Instead, you might get a few new ideas. I hope you get some new ideas, but the main goal here is to get you practicing. And today, I'm going to give you a thought to just take away and think about. And the thought is this: what if your problem with alcohol is actually an invitation to grow? What if your problem, your struggle with alcohol is actually God or your higher self or the universe tapping you on the shoulder and saying, my dear, you need to grow? Or better yet, what if your struggle with alcohol is God tapping you on the shoulder and saying, there is so much more available to you? What if the best chapter of your life is waiting right behind that bottle of wine? Well, I'm here to argue that it is. I'm here to invite you today. This is an invitation. I want to invite you to celebrate, to be grateful that you are struggling with alcohol. I want you to look at that bottle next time and go, yeah. I want you to look at alcohol as a gift. Because if we didn't struggle with it, we would not be forced to grow. Look, I know how painful it is. In 2018, when I hit my horrible bottom, my 8-day blackout, that story, I told it last month, my humiliating, unbelievably painful bottom in 2018, let me tell you something. Zero gratitude for alcohol. I would have given anything to just not have to go through that. But now that I'm over here on this side, I can honestly say that I am grateful. I'm grateful that I had this struggle all those years, even though it had to go on for over 30 freaking years. Wasted. In many ways, a lot of opportunities wasted in those 30 years, a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of self-disgust, all of that, all of the shame that goes with it. I lived through all of that, gals, and even so, I'm still grateful today because I know I would not be standing here in front of this microphone talking to you. I would not be meeting one-on-one with the clients who I mentor. I would not be meeting with the groups that I mentor. I would not be watching women change their lives. I would not have this privilege. I personally would not have grown into the woman I am today if it hadn't been for my struggle with alcohol. I'd still be teaching at the college, which is fine. It's a great gig. Nothing against teaching at a college. It's a great job. But it was not who I was supposed to be when I grew up. It was not what I was supposed to be doing. And I didn't even know that until I quit drinking. I want you today to say to yourself, thank God I have a problem with alcohol. Can you do it? I dare ya. I dare ya. I dare you to pick up your journal and write in it why you are grateful for alcohol. And here's the questions you can ask yourself. What else in my life am I putting off? What types of emotional wounds is alcohol allowing me to ignore? You see, you're using alcohol to cope, you're using alcohol to unwind, whatever the reasons that you personally use alcohol, that it's standing between you and healing. There are things in your life that need to be healed. There are aspects of your psyche, your mindset, your level of consciousness, your physical being, your relationships, your life, your health that need to be healed. I'm not saying your life's a disaster, but there are things dying to be healed, asking to be healed, tapping you on the shoulder, wanting to be healed. There's a freedom and a health and a happiness waiting for you to step up and just take it. And the doorway, the key to this is putting down alcohol. If you did not have a problem with alcohol, you could just float along and live a mediocre life and nobody would be the wiser. You probably wouldn't even notice. You know you got a few problems, but hell, who doesn't? I don't need to go grow and get all excited and build the, quote, best chapter of my life. I don't have to bother. My liver's fine. I'm okay. You don't have that luxury. You're drinking too much. You know you have to quit. It's an invitation to change, to grow, to experience in the last chapter of your life a freedom that you didn't even know was possible. So today, again, the challenge to you is, can you be grateful that you're struggling with alcohol? I hope you can. It might require a bit of thought, but don't just shut this off and go to the next thing. When this snippet ends, take some time and just think about it. Just ask yourself, is there something in me asking to grow, asking to be born? What am I tamping down by using alcohol? Your higher self is tapping on your shoulder and asking you to step up. And I hope that you find that really exciting because, my dear, it is. And if you want help starting the journey, on Friday, I talked about how messy this journey is. That's another thing. If you missed Friday's episode, I really encourage you to go back because it's not what you think it is. It really isn't. If you're ready to start your messy journey, if you're ready to start stumbling through your early sobriety, then the Fresh Start Foundations is right here waiting for you to join us. It's an easy commitment. We meet once a week on Zoom, and the doors are open today. Go to the show notes, tap the link, join us, and have the support of a group of women just like you and me every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And in between, we're together on WhatsApp. I would love to see you there because you are a woman who's been given an invitation to change. And the invitation has come in the form of a bottle of wine. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.
The modern man is fascinating. He has a standing desk. He takes creatine. He listens to podcasts at 2 times the speed. He owns 3 water bottles and he follows 6 productivity influencers. Then every weekend, he drinks enough alcohol to tranquilize a rhinoceros. If any of this sounds familiar, I'm Shane Raymer, host of That Sober Guy podcast. We talk performance, we talk purpose, we talk leadership, and we talk about building a better life without alcohol. Because the answer isn't another life hack. It's removing the thing that's holding you back. Search That Sober Guy wherever you get your podcasts.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.